Could the Toronto Maple Leafs be on the verge of a game-changing acquisition? Rumors are swirling that a towering defender, standing at an impressive 6'5", may be available for a surprisingly low price. As the trade deadline approaches, the Leafs are in desperate need of defensive reinforcements, and this could be the answer fans have been waiting for. What would it mean for the team's playoff aspirations? Stick around as we dive into the details and explore how this potential move could reshape our defense. If you want to stay in the loop with all the latest Maple Leafs news, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Brad Treliving is on the hunt, and it looks like he may have a golden opportunity to bolster the Toronto Maple Leafs defense without breaking the bank. The name circulating in the rumor mill is Carson Soucy from Vancouver. Yes, you heard that right. A 6'5" defender who could provide the Leafs with the size and stability they desperately need, and all for a relatively low cost. Now, let's talk about what this potential acquisition could mean for the Leafs. We've seen the team struggle defensively at times, and bringing in a player like Soucy could change the game. He's not just a big body. He's a solid two-way player who knows how to block shots and contribute offensively. This season, he's already racked up 2 goals and 6 assists, along with a whopping 85 blocked shots. That's the kind of gritty play that Toronto fans love and have been craving. Elliot Friedman recently mentioned that Vancouver is looking to move Soucy due to some new additions on their roster. This is a guy who was a key player for them last year in the playoffs. He knows how to step up when it counts, and that experience could be invaluable for the Leafs as they push for a deep playoff run. The Leafs could be looking at a defensive pairing of Morgan Rielly and Carson Soucy, which would be a nightmare for opposing forwards. Just imagine the intimidation factor when they step onto the ice together. But here's the kicker. Soucy comes with a very manageable cap hit of just $3.25 million for this season and next. In today's NHL, that's a steal for a top-4 defenseman. Treliving could address a glaring need without sacrificing too much of the future. If Vancouver is willing to part with him for a third-round pick, or perhaps a lower-tier defenseman, it's a deal that could make a lot of sense for both teams. Now, let's not kid ourselves. This isn't the sexiest trade out there. There are bigger names floating around, and it's easy to get caught up in the allure of a star player. However, sometimes the best moves are the ones that go under the radar. Soucy fits the mold of what Toronto needs right now. A reliable, hard-nosed defenseman who can contribute at both ends of the ice. He might not be the flashiest option, but he could provide the stability that has been missing. As fans, we have to ask ourselves, is this the right path for Treliving and the Leafs? Honestly, I'm torn. The allure of a big-name player is tempting, but let's not forget the importance of filling those foundational gaps. Soucy could be that guy. He adds depth to the defensive lineup and allows the Leafs to focus their assets on other areas of need. It's a strategic move that could pay dividends down the road. And here's where I want to hear from you, the passionate Leafs Nation. Do you think this was the best decision? Should Treliving go all in on a bigger name, or is securing a player like Soucy the smarter play? I want to hear your opinions down below. Your insights are what makes this community special, and I know you all have strong feelings about the direction of this team. As we move closer to the March 7 trade deadline, every decision becomes crucial. The stakes are high, and the pressure is mounting. The Maple Leafs have a chance to shake things up, and it's moments like these that can define a season. So, what's it going to be, Leafs fans? Are we ready to embrace the potential of Carson Soucy, or are we holding out for something bigger? The trade deadline is fast approaching, and the buzz around the Toronto Maple Leafs is palpable. According to reliable insider Frank Saravalli from Daily Faceoff, the Leafs might be closing in on a significant acquisition that could address their pressing needs. It's being suggested that Brad Treliving and the team are eyeing a pivot from a fierce divisional rival, specifically Jake Evans from the Montreal Canadiens. This potential move has sparked conversations among fans about what it means for the team's future. Now, the idea of trading with the Canadiens, a team that has been a long-standing rival, is intriguing in itself. The reported deal would see the Leafs sending a second-round pick in 2025 and prospect Ronnie Hirvonen to Montreal in exchange for Evans. For those who may not be familiar, Evans is a right-shot center with a very reasonable cap hit of $1.7 million this season. He has shown he can contribute offensively, netting 11 goals and adding 27 points in 56 games. What stands out, though, is how he ranks among the Leafs forwards, not named Matthews, Tavares, Nylander, Marner, or Nyes. This is a player who could bring depth and defensive acumen at the 3C position, something the Leafs have been craving. But here's where it gets really interesting. Saravalli mentions the possibility of extending Evans, which adds another layer to this potential deal. As a Toronto native, there's a certain appeal to bringing him back home, and fans love the idea of local talent contributing to the team. Wouldn't it be nice to see a player with that hometown connection thriving in a Leafs uniform? It certainly adds a personal touch to the transaction. The thought of him being a valuable piece moving forward makes this trade feel even more significant. With the trade deadline set for March 7th, the excitement is building. We're only weeks away, and with the regular season on pause until the 22nd, it's likely we'll see a flurry of activity as teams scramble to make their final moves. And as a passionate fan, I can't help but wonder if Treliving will be one of the GMs making headlines. However, before we dive into the excitement of potential trades, it's important to acknowledge the challenges the Leafs face. Saravalli points out that high-profile targets like Brock Nelson and Scott Laughton might be out of reach. This could lead to a sense of urgency for Treliving to act, especially if he's looking to solidify the roster before the playoffs. It's a delicate balance, and honestly, I'm torn. Do you think this is the best decision? It's easy to get swept up in the idea of landing a big name, but sometimes the best moves are the ones that fly under the radar. What I love about this potential trade for Evans is that it fills an immediate need while also offering a glimpse into the future. He could provide the Leafs with the depth they need to compete, particularly as they gear up for a playoff run. But will he be enough? That's the million-dollar question. Fans have seen this team struggle in the playoffs before, and each move carries the weight of our hopes and dreams for a deep postseason run. Engaging with the fan base is also crucial right now. I want to hear your thoughts on this. And you, what do you think? Is Evans the right fit? Will he be the spark that drives the Leafs further into the playoffs? Let's debate in the comments. Your insights are invaluable, and I love hearing differing perspectives. As we navigate through these tense weeks leading up to the deadline, remember to keep an eye on the latest developments. Don't forget to activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates. If you enjoyed this discussion, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's keep the conversation going as we cheer on our beloved Maple Leafs. Together, we can bask in the excitement of what's to come.